Hey guys, Thogden here, welcome back to a brand new video. Now today, as you know, we spoke about every club's best player of the season. You guys in the comments were like, let's do a version where we go through the worst players of the season. What a great idea that is.
Yeah, we're going to be all negative today, so don't give us too much hate, please.
Oh, it's going to be like that, I tell you. Listen, you may not agree with us, but we had to pick someone, and we're just a couple Bolton fans. So listen, let's have our say, and you can have your say in the comments down below. We're going to start with Arsenal, aren't we?
Hey, 12,000 likes, please.
Let's get in with Arsenal. What's your pick?
Well, I've gone for a Brighton goalkeeper who's at Arsenal now, Matthew Ryan. Now, this might be a little harsh, but the thing about Arsenal this season, I think they've been mediocre. So there haven't been terrible performances. There's just been a lot of mediocre performances.
I'll tell you, he's been terrible, Thog. Dad, Bellerin. A lot of people told us to go with Willian. I checked his stats, and he's got 6 contributions. And Saka's got 8 and played double the game. So yeah. I don't really understand what that is about. I know he's not been great, but Bellerin, you know, he's just not exceeded the talent that people expected of him a few years ago. He's a little bit negative. He can't always cross the ball. And quite frankly, he's just not been as good as Tierney. So when you compare the fullbacks, I'm sorry, Bellerin, you're the worst player for Arsenal this season.
Aston Villa now, and I've chosen a young Brazilian lad who came from Man City for quite a lot of money. Yeah, I'm sorry, Theo. Douglas Luiz. Now, the thing about him, I don't think he's progressed at all this season. He's maybe even gone backwards.
Yeah, I've not really heard much of him, Dad. And another midfielder that I've been a little bit disappointed with is Ross Barkley.
Yeah.
He came in on loan at the start of the season, high expectations. We know the talent that Ross Barkley has got, and it started off really well. He played brilliant, and he was a big part of that Liverpool 7-2 thrashing. We all remember that game, but my God, did he fall off. I don't know what it was, but Ross Barkley, he has this thing there where he doesn't even care sometimes, and he just puts some stinky performances in. And for Villa fans, it's just been a little bit gutting. It's not been a great loan move overall, and therefore he's my worst player of the season.
Wow, he's a talented player, but you're right, Theo. You've got to prove it week in, week out.
And he doesn't care enough. I don't think he does.
Brighton and Hove Albion. Now, this season, your problems have been up front. You've not put the ball in the onion bag enough. And I've gone for a young lad called Aaron Connolly. And I'll tell you why. He's bagged a couple of goals, but he's missed 5 big chances. Yeah. That's not good enough.
Dad, any striker you pick for Brighton, I can completely... Like, Maupay makes sense. Connolly does too. Funnily enough, haven't picked Connolly or Maupay. I've gone with Dan Burn.
Yeah.
And the reason is, I just don't think he's good enough. And I feel a little bit bad for him because I think he's a bit out of his depth in the Premier League. Yeah. He's a left back and he's 200 centimetres tall. If he comes up against a very good winger, right winger with a bit of flair, a bit of pace, it's probably going to be curtains. I mean, I would, if I was a Brighton fan, I'd probably want a new left back who's a little bit quicker and off the go. But you know what? Credit to Dan Burn because he always gives it 110%.
But at least you've not chosen your Hambash, so we don't have the whole of Iran coming after us this year.
Don't mention it, don't mention it.
Burnley now, and yesterday we did the best players, and you said Chris Wood, didn't you, Theo?
I did, yeah.
And I agree with that because 12 goals, he missed 2 big chances. He had about 30 touches per game. Now, I want to contrast that with Jay Rodriguez. 1 goal, 3 big chances missed, and only 17 touches per game. So he's not putting the hard yards in, and he's not finishing his chances.
I do agree with you overall on Jay Rodriguez. Like you said, Dad, he's not had as much game time as maybe Chris Wood has, but he's not been that much of an impact. Therefore, you know, Burnley, it's difficult. Sean Dyche always brings the best out of most of the team. So I'll agree with you on the first... Is this the first time we agree?
I think it is, Theo.
Mental.
I know.
I thought we'd agree more.
But the thing is, Theo, you've got to earn your game time. And Jay Rodriguez, he cost 9 million quid. He is an international, or he was back in the day. I expect a lot more. Chelsea now, and when you pay 72 million pounds for a player, you expect a lot, don't you, Theo?
You do.
Now, Kepa Arrizabalaga, this season, he's played in 6 games. And in those 6 games, 3 errors led to goals. That's why you're not playing, pal.
I know, it's true. You know what, Kepa, he's had bad years. He's barely played. I think that's a little bit of a harsh decision, you know.
There, I've just given you the stats. 6 games, 3 errors led to goals. In 6 games. You've got to earn more.
Yeah.
If you're giving away a goal because of your error every 3 hours, you're not going to get picked. It's as simple as that.
Maybe it's a good opinion. You know what, I've gone with someone else. I've gone with Tammy Abraham. And it's not actually his fault. You know, it's just unfortunate I have to put him as the player because he's not been backed by Tuchel since he's come in the team. He doesn't believe in him, so he barely gets game time. He's only got 6 goals this season, which was all through Lampard. And he's just dropped off, and he hasn't fought his way into the team. And quite frankly, if I was him, I'd think about leaving. He's not the worst player. I think he's got the potential there. But he's just not playing, is he?
Yeah, leave or prove that you're good enough. Because these players train several times a week. They play in cup games. They play in training games. Prove you're good enough, Tammy Abraham.
That's the thing, actually, Dad. And that's part of the reason I put him in this video. He's not getting game time because he's not proving it in the training ground.
Crystal Palace now, and I've listened to the fans, and I've gone for an experienced Dutch international, Patrick van Aanholt, otherwise known as Patrick van Thogden.
You don't want that rep. You don't want that rep.
This season, his positioning has not been as good, and he's actually lost more than half of his duels. Not good enough.
Seriously. Yeah, I've looked at the comments, and Palace fans speak very low about this player. He seems to be out of position. His defensive awareness isn't great, and actually a lot of the defenders have to make up for him when he's out of position and it leads to goals. I agree with you on Patrick van Aanholt. This wasn't a tough decision, was it?
Yeah, he's been stinking up the gaff. Everton now, I've gone for a lad who cost 27 million quid from Arsenal. He's a very experienced Nigerian international, Alex Iwobi. And the thing is, you watch the games and he disappears, Theo.
Yeah, the truth is... Sorry.
Yeah, he just doesn't get enough goal contributions.
Yeah, you're right, Dad. Ancelotti has improved most of the side, so it really narrowed it down for me. It actually made it quite an easy decision. And Alex Iwobi, I agree with you, Dad. He just doesn't take football that seriously. It's like he's always in a football compilation when he's on the pitch. But his actual productivity for the team isn't that effective. Therefore, he is probably the worst performer this season for them.
Fulham now, and I found this one very, very easy. It's Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And I'll tell you why. This lad is 25. He's not a young player anymore.
Yeah.
He had a chance to go across town from Chelsea to Fulham and prove that he's good enough to play in the Premiership. 1 goal all season, 5 big chances missed. And when you're watching Fulham games, you don't notice him, Theo.
I agree with you. I barely noticed him this season. And actually, if we go back to a moment where he was playing for Chelsea, playing for England at the Russia World Cup, big expectations of him to be the next big England midfielder, that powerhouse. It's really fallen off. And actually, I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
It's not his fault. It's the back problems. It's the injuries that come back to haunt him every single time he gets a bit of momentum going. And with all those injuries, he's lost his talent. And therefore, I agree with you. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, he hasn't been good enough this season. He's not been as good as how Chelsea fans expect him to be. And we won't probably see him in a Chelsea shirt ever again, really.
Which is really sad, and I take no pleasure in this.
No, it's
but
not.
He's just proven not to be quite good enough.
He can't really control the injuries, can he? So it's disappointing.
Leeds United now, and they've been brilliant all season, so it's hard to pick anyone. But there's one lad who cost 16 million from Wolves, and I just think he's underwhelmed this season. 2 goals, but 3 missed big chances.
Right.
He kind of dropped from the team. Helder Costa, Theo.
Yeah, I've not heard much of him in a while, you know.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about Helder Costa. Because when was his last game?
I don't know. The thing is, you've got Rafinha, you've got Jack Harrison, you've got Stuart Does Dallas.
Yeah.
All these players having great seasons. He's just not really proven to be good enough to get in the 11.
Nah, and quite frankly, Dad, with Leeds, I forgot about him, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to pick anyone. I genuinely believe Bielsa has improved and made everybody play well. You can't go into a video and talk about the worst player in the team when it's Leeds United.
Yeah.
They all give it their all for that manager. So this is the only ever time for a club I'm going to do this. But I'm going to say nobody.
Leicester City, and I've gone for a player who cost 30 million quid, and I really used to rate this guy when he was at Newcastle.
Right.
I'm talking about Ayoze Perez. I just think he's really underperformed. He's surrounded by the likes of Harvey Barnes and Maddison and Nacho Vardy. Real creative talent around him. He's just not shining, Theo.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from, and I completely agree with you. It's difficult to find any of the players in this Leicester side who've played poor this season.
Yeah.
But you're right, Dad. Ayoze Perez, as much as the Leicester City have gone like this, Ayoze Perez has slightly fallen off. A couple years back, he had 14 contributions.
Yeah.
Last year, 12 contributions. This year, he's only had 3.
Yeah.
And he's not really getting in the team as much. And he's not been that much of an impact. Therefore, yeah, he's probably the worst player.
Liverpool now, and there's one lad who cost 54 million quid, and I expected a lot better this season, Naby Keita. And I just question whether he's good enough for the midfield of Liverpool. I mean, they've got high expectations at Anfield. Obviously, there's the likes of Milner and Henderson who've been brilliant for years. I don't think Keita's good enough.
Both Milner and Henderson have been poor this season when they've played. I know Henderson's been injured, but Milner's been average. He's fallen off. To be honest, Dad, I disagree with you. I think most of this Liverpool side have fallen off this season.
Yeah.
You could have picked anybody in the team apart from Salah. Seriously, everyone's had stinky performances. I think it's the effect of having no Virgil van Dijk, but I think if I had to narrow it down to one, you're right with Naby Keita.
Right.
He's been the worst of them all. But you could have said Wijnaldum.
Yes.
You probably could have said either of the fullbacks on their day, but they've both had good games as well this season. Sadio Mane, look how he's fallen off. The worst is probably Naby Keita.
Manchester City, and it's hard to pick a player here because they've been brilliant this year, but
Yeah.
there's one lad who costs more than 50 million and really just makes too many errors, and I think he's proven himself to be more of a bench player. Benjamin Mendy, I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I can understand that. By the way, Benjamin Mendy is a great attitude.
Yeah.
He's a good lad. Like,
Yeah.
he's always on social media when they win.
Yeah.
He seems very positive. Like, the right guy to have in your dressing room.
Yes.
If there's anyone to sit on the bench, he seems like a good lad for it. I sort of agree with you, but I've gone with Nathan Ake. And the reason I have, he's played 9 appearances this season for Man City. And 3 of Manchester City's losses have been when he started in those games. So clearly the whole Man City team are a little less confident when he's playing at the back, because half their losses have been when he's been starting. It's difficult to pick any of the City players, but it has to be Nathan Ake for me.
Manchester United now, and I get a feeling we're going to disagree on this one.
Okay.
I've gone for a Dutch international who came from Ajax for 35 million quid, Donny van der Beek. Now, Theo, you're going to say, well, he only started 3 times. He's been on the pitch 17 times. What he's got to do is prove that he's better than Fred and Matic and McTominay. He's not proved that, Theo.
He's a different role player. That's why he's not getting in the team. He's not a holding mid. He's in the Bruno role. He's just not getting any game time because it's Bruno Fernandes.
I've just not seen enough from young Donny, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope next season he has a great time.
It's not Donny van der Beek's fault. The problem with the lineup, there is no role for him. There is no space for him. I've gone with Anthony Martial. You knew I was going to do that. Why are you angry?
Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and the wee donkey. I can't believe you've gone for Anthony Martial. He's not that bad.
Dad, he's had 4 goals and 10 missed chances. Big misses. That's a terrible turnaround. This geezer was banging it in a few years ago. He was meant to be the big number 9 of Manchester United, and he's been benched by Eddie Cavani. This guy's fallen off, and he's been the worst player this season. And a lot of United fans, let me know if you agree with me in the comments.
Yeah, I've got to say, a lot of people did say Martial.
I'm surprised you didn't yourself.
I nearly did. Newcastle now, and I've gone for a lad who impressed me at Norwich, but this season for Newcastle, I'm sorry, he's been poor, he's been dropped. Jamal Lewis.
Oh, right. Yeah, fair enough. I agree with you. Jamal Lewis. I think Jeff Hendrick has done nothing since his debut for Newcastle, so he's got a big shout in this video. But I agree with you on Jamal Lewis. The geezer just hasn't been good enough. He's been benched by, the Geordie, the only Geordie in the team, Dummett.
Yeah.
And Richie, who's a decent player. He's always going to put in a shift. They signed a player who would, be banging in those contributions.
Yeah.
Good defensively. He's not been that player, has he?
Well, simply, Newcastle have been better without him, and that is a really sad situation.
Yeah.
Sheffield United, and I've chosen a lad who FPL managers used to love, John Lundstrom. This season, I'm sorry, the effort hasn't been there.
Yeah.
He's been winning 41% of his duels, just not good enough there.
Dad, apart from McGoldrick and Ramsdale, we could have pointed the finger at every single Sheffield United player. They have all fallen off in terms of effort and work rate compared to the season before. It's simply not good enough. They've gone from European talks to bottom of the league. They all need to have a hard, good look at themselves. I feel bad for pointing the finger at only just one player. Yeah. And it is John Lundstrom.
Southampton now, and I've gone for the young French lad, Ibrahima Diallo. I just haven't seen enough from him, Theo. I just think he's too error-prone and just not quite good enough.
Dad, he never even crossed my mind. There's only one player you go with for the Saints. It's Alexander Jankovic. The man who played and started against Manchester United, and in the second minute, he forced a red card to hand in his transfer request for the club. He's by far the worst player in the team.
Tottenham Hotspur, and I've chosen a lad who I really used to rate, Moussa Sissoko. And this season, Theo, he's been less involved, less accurate. It's just not the player he was. I think he's winning less than half his duels. Not good enough.
I didn't expect you to go with him.
Yeah.
I thought you'd have gone with the player that I've chosen, Matt Doherty.
Yeah, nearly. I nearly went for him. He's my number 2.
Yeah, because he's fallen. I mean, I say fallen off. He was never good for Spurs. When Wolves sold him, they were probably licking their lips because he played a right wing back role for Wolves, and he came to Spurs to play in right back. And he's not good enough of going up the pitch, being creative, and then coming back and covering for the defence. It's a role that didn't work, and he's been useless. I mean, the one benefit of Doherty is it's made Aurier look good.
Wow, very harsh. And he's another lad who last year was brilliant in FPL. This year, a shocker.
Yeah, he's had a stinker this season. Let's move on to the next one.
West Bromwich Albion now, and I'm going to keep this short. I've listened to the fans. 2 words, Romain Sawyers.
Yeah, it's very simple. I agree with you. He's not been good enough. And actually, the moment you realise how bad he was.
Yeah.
In January, they signed Yokuzlu, the Turkish central midfielder, a capable central midfielder, who played his role. You realised how bad Romain Sawyers was. I mean, this guy had no competition in the first half of the season, so he had to play. But he just wasn't good enough. So I agree with you, he is the worst player in the West Brom team this season.
West Ham United, and you've been brilliant this season, and it's hard to choose
thanks,
anyone.
Thank
So
you.
I've listened to the fans. Andrei Yarmolenko, who I think is one of the highest paid players at the club.
Is
there.
he?
Yeah.
That's mental, that. I tell you what, I completely agree with you. Difficult to pick anyone at West Ham. They've had a massively overperforming season. Andrei Yarmolenko has done nothing, maybe apart from one contribution this season.
Yeah.
And I know he's been an impact sub, but it's not much of an impact if you're only contributing once the whole year round. So I agree with you. That's it for West Ham.
And finally, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and I had to pick a guy who gets a goal every 1,001 minutes.
Really?
2 big chances missed, 1 goal all season. Will.I.am Jose. I'm sorry.
I see where you went there, because he was meant to be the big Jimenez replacement.
Yeah.
And I thought you'd pick Fabio Silva.
No,
Yeah.
I looked at his stats, not quite.
The thing is, you can't point the finger at a teenager, a geezer my age, who's meant to come into a football club and just change it around. The geezer's a kid. I know they overpaid for him, but imagine the pressure on him. Do you know what I mean?
But at 5-a-side tonight, Theo, we expect you to really make a difference.
Yeah, but I don't have a 50 million price tag on. Unless that's what you're asking for, Thogden. Hey, listen, I agree with you with Willian Jose. I think he's come in, he's 29 years old, experienced, banging in the goals in La Liga. You'd expect more than just 1 goal in all the games he's played. Thanks for watching, lads. Really appreciate it. How many likes do we go for? 12,000?
Oh, 12,000, please.
And shout out to everybody that goes onto Twitter. Every time we do this video, we ask the fans for your opinion. So if you want to be featured on the next one, follow us on Twitter, @Thogden. Go over there. We need a bigger Twitter support anyway. So if you're not following us, you're missing out on the football banter and the content. And on that note, thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more Premier League and English leagues content. We've got lots more to come, especially with the Euros. So yeah, subscribe and notifications on. In a bit, guys. Take care.